America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Hello, good evening, afternoon, a little bit later than usual by an hour, but apologies for that. Life is fluctuating at the moment, so things have been shifted around, but how are we doing? Is this 56? I believe it's episode number 56. How do I not know? Episode number 56 nonetheless. Happy Wednesday. Happy midweek. We're almost there. Can't come soon enough, but how are you doing? I hope you're feeling blessed. I am, obviously, waking up to hearing the news that Perišić has gone down with an ACL injury. It was pretty shocking. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about how we feel, what do we think going forward, but I hope you're feeling blessed tonight. Or good morning. Happy Thursday if you are in Australia, because the number 2 demographic is Australia, so I want to make sure I do say good morning, proper tidings to those who need it. But how are we outside of the Perišić thing? We're going to talk about Perišić, but first and foremost, how are we feeling? Champions League, I watched a lot of that. Oh, Chewy's here. See, he's there. He didn't make an appearance last episode, but nonetheless, here he is. So big up to Chewy he showed up to work today. So bless his little heart. How are we doing? The chat, I can see people are already chatting away. The question of the day is, how do you feel about the Perišić injury? I see 21 votes, 14 likes. We're getting our opinions heard. Most people say they're gutted for him, but we never stop. 67%. 68%. Oh, no, now back down to 60. Oh, there it goes back up. Y'all voting. A couple people voted, making it change on me live. 23% says this will expose our lack of depth. And then 9% says we will be fine. We got left wingers galore. Now, depending where you lie on that, just go ahead and let me know. Hit a like while you're at it. It's been a long day, folks, and I apologize that I had to push it back an hour. So I did, but we are good to go now. Obviously, not fun stuff talking about Perišić. But let me say what's up to the chat before we talk about Perišić, because that's kind of a bummer. Big up Kate with Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs says, big up Jacob. You get first place prize and you're the first place. So that's double first place prize for you, Kate. Big up. Alan Bennett in the house as well. Evening Jacob. Arsenal on smoke. Don't do watch along. Could get peak. Gang indeed. Big up Talking Ball with big up Colin with Talking Ball. You were not first, unfortunately, but you were here nonetheless. Hansi G says, come on, you Spurs. Let's combine together to win Sunday. Let's do it, Hansi G. Combine our forces. I'm going to be waking up super freaking early. I hope y'all know. And I do like well, I guess it's not really intermittent if I do it every day, but I do like, not really like fasting, but I do, sorry, my wife is texting me something. I want to make sure she's okay. Oh, she's trying to figure out which episode to play for the boy, which episode he needs to watch. Sorry about that. Big up Jazz Fusion. Brian Kill. I'm just going to move along. Brian Kill, monster, to the white courtesy phone, please. Big up Jazz Fusion. American brother in the house. Big up all the Americans showing up. Third demographic for the channel. Big up. Hunty G says Arsenal had an easy game tonight. Honestly, I thought PSV were going to put up a little bit more of a fight. A little bit disappointing. Shout out to Football Heritage TV. I was watching I was a part of the watch along for a little bit while I could, and then I had to hop off because my wife went to work. So big up Terry Windows. Says evening Jacob in chat. Another YouTube chat member in the house. Big up Terry Windows. Big up Boxing Kangaroo says, yo, Jacob and Chewy. Big up brother from a land down under. Thought you were going to say brother from another mother, but big up Boxing Kangaroo. Hope you're living well. Kate says, hope you're well, Jacob, and your gorgeous boy and beautiful wife are good. They are indeed. My wife had to run around and do a bunch of work today, but she's good. She's good. Everything's good. Cursor says, like secured. Big up, Jacob. Big up, Cursor. Hope you're keeping well, sir. Big up. J-Co, non-contact ACL. Perišić was a decent sub. I liked him. I mean, you could argue he was involved in both of those goals in which we came back from the other night. So, really, for me, I think it is a blow. I think it's definitely a blow to us. We'll talk about it. I don't want to talk about it too much off the jump. But big up Chelsea Blue and Blue. We got a rival in the house. Has smashed the likes. Big up Chelsea Blue and Blue. Big up Woodsy J says good day all. Good day, Jay. Hope you're keeping well. Sonaldo 69. What a name. I love this name. Evening Jacob. Big up. How you doing today? I'm good. I got my cup of coffee here, drinking out the ANGE POSTECOGLOU'S cup. You know how I like to live. So I'm doing good, man. I hope you're doing good too. Man, the week sometimes can be a lot. I'll tell you what. Big up Boxing Kangaroo says, I really feel for the dude. His age will be a real downer. Plus, he's coming out of contract. Yeah, he will be free again next summer, correct? This is his last year that we signed a 2-year deal as a free agent initially. So, some people say it's the end of his career. Some people say it's the end of his Spurs career. For me, I feel like we were already in talks with Hajduk Split. I believe that's their name. I can't remember correctly, but Hajduk Split, the Croatian team that we just bought that 16-year-old from. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to nurse him back from this and then move him on, say somewhere like that where he can finish out and play some decent ball to end his career like a nice old dog getting sent to the big pasture or whatever. David Calvino, evening everyone. Big up David. Big up Chris Peters, another YouTube chat member in the house. Milton Nobrega says, howdy Jacob, hope you and the family are well. Big up Chewy and everyone in the chat. I feel for Ivan, so unfortunate, can't wait to play the scum. Yeah, big up Chewy, he's here today. Big up, yeah, I can't wait to play the scum either. Honestly, can't come soon enough. I did watch their match today in the Champions League. I wasn't really impressed. I mean, I know that they stomped and they walked all over PSV, but I wasn't impressed by PSV. I wasn't impressed by Arsenal. Maybe I'm talking out my ass. I don't know. Well, big up, Milton. Hope you're... Good morning, sir. Chris Peters says, big loss to the team as a super sub. Absolutely agree with this. 67% says gutted for him, but we never stop. I think the mentality is here. We just got to pick up and go forward. I mean, we knew injuries were going to come at some point. It's unfortunate that it happened during a non-contact training drill or whatever, and a non-contact drill in training, and that's really unfortunate. That's very, very unfortunate. I think for our, trying to play a little bit of devil's advocate here, I think that, if we have to take an injury somewhere, I guess I'd prefer it to be someone on the bench than one of our starters because our 11s actually look pretty good. So, big up Rich. Big up, dude. Sad for Perišić, and our thin squad just got a little bit thinner. Yeah, he was one of those parts that you were like, well, at least we have that guy on the bench. It does suck. It definitely does suck. I think that means... I think we're all a little bit sad for the guy. I mean, on a human level, that sucks. He's older. A lot of people, like I was saying earlier, a lot of people think that his career could be done. I think he's in phenomenal shape for his age. I think he can come back from this, but at what level can he compete? I don't know. I would just say that I think, I still think he can come back and compete at some level. I just don't think that, it's necessarily the level we're trying to be at. Cal L Agent, wasn't that just typical? That's just fucking typical, isn't it? Goes on a decent run, starts contributing regularly, and that hits us like a train. Absolutely brutal stuff. Cal feeling the blow here. I hear you, buddy. Honestly, we have a lot of people. I got some funny tweets. I don't know about that tweets. I got some funny tweets, some serious tweets. We'll get into it. We'll get into it real quick. First of all, here you go. Oh wait, let me zoom this in. Give me 1 second. And then I gotta switch this. There you go. So Pedro Porro on Instagram. We got some teammates showing love here. Says good recovery, brother. We will fight for you. Ivan Perišić from Pedro Porro. So that's kind of sweet. And then, actually, let me do this because I don't want to reveal everything, but there's a little sneak peek up in the top left. Another James Madison on Instagram wishing some well wishes to the guy as well. Says, gutted for you, mate. What a seriously top player. Speedy recovery, and I'm sending you my love. So they've played together for a very short amount of time, and he's already sending him his love. So I think we as Spurs fans should send him his love. I know that some of us feel it maybe a little bit harder than others. I just think that while this does suck, man, we just got to keep moving, right? It's like we're at battle. We can't just stop once one soldier goes down. We got to keep pushing on and moving. And then obviously some people had some funny takes and some people had some not so funny takes about it. One thing that I did see was this. I'm curious to see how y'all feel about this. Tottenham News verified on X and everything says Ryan Sessegnon could be a perfect Ivan Perisic replacement after the injury blow. Well, first of all, I would just say preface all this with I don't even think he's fit to play. He hasn't seen the field not one bit at all. Big up Jay in the house. Says, anyone see the Spurs supporters meeting with Levy, Ainge, Son, and the women's team reps? Was very interesting. It's on YouTube. It is on YouTube. It's also on Spurs Play. They did release it. I mean, I already got all the quotes I think I want to hear from it. It's about like an hour and a half, so you're really tuning in for at least about a rom-com's length of a movie for that. Nick De La Torre says, híjole, dude, don't jinx the starters. Sorry about that, Nick. I wasn't trying to jinx nobody. Let me knock on some wood now. Come on. Big up, Nick. Indeed. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Woodsy says, feel bad as he's a top professional in very good shape for his age. Did you see the Nick Chubb injury? That was absolutely disgusting. Yep. Woodsy says, sorry, I don't want to see Sessegnon play for the first team again. Get rid in January and replace. Well, we couldn't get rid of him technically in the window because I think he was hurt. He had just had surgery. So there's like some kind of rule, I think, if they have surgery, how you're not allowed to like sell them after they've just had surgery. I don't know, damaged goods. Don't quote me. That's just what I heard. So that's an interesting take that someone had. Let's see. Any more people voted in the... We got a few more votes. 70. The percentage is going up, saying gutted for him, but we never stop. That's kind of how I'm feeling. I am gutted for him, but I feel like we just got to keep going. 16% says will expose our lack of depth. Yeah. Now this next person that I'm going to show you on the twatter, excuse me, Hotspur Edition. Another verified source says, this is your time to shine, Brian Hill. So we got one source saying it's Sessegnon's time to shine. And then another source saying, Brian Hill, it's your time to shine. And I find it funny because really neither player is healthy. I don't even think either one could play this weekend if we needed them. So I don't really know what that really says about our fan base. At least on Twitter, anyway. Jay says, Sessegnon's injury record makes Darren Sickno Anderton seem great. I think my doorbell just rang. That's interesting. What do y'all think? Brian Hill, when he comes back, do we think this guy could give us anything from that left wing position? Some people think this is the perfect system for Brian Hill to come in and do, I guess, what he's supposed to be good at. I'm just asking the question because I don't really know what he's necessarily good at. I saw one or two good things from him in the amount of appearances. How many appearances? Let's look up how many freaking appearances this guy even has for us. Because I always be talking about him, but I don't even know 100% how many appearances he has. Let me share this. 9 matches played, 0 started last year. And this year, Well, this is last year. So 2 years ago, he played 9. So 9 plus 4, 13. So he's had 13 appearances. Is that not enough time to say, oh, I know X, Y, and Z about a player? I don't know. 1 assist last year in the Premier League. I think that was against Crystal Palace. Yeah, it was. It was against Crystal Palace. So he got an assist against Crystal Palace last year in 4 appearances. The year before that, 9 appearances. I thought he had an appearance in the Champions League. Yeah, he did. Here we go. So he had another one in the Champions League. 4 appearances. Okay, okay, I knew it was more than just 13. So that's 17 appearances. 0 goals, 0 assists. All right. So he didn't do anything in that. Let's see. EFL Cup, 1 appearance. So 18 appearances for Brian Hill. And he didn't get any assists or goals that match. And the EFL Cup either. So let's see here. Europa, I guess that would be with Sevilla. So that's not us. La Liga. Oh, FA Cup. Did we already add FA Cup? So about 18 appearances in total, it looks like, that we've gotten from Brian Hill. 1 assist? Am I being harsh in thinking that this guy can't offer us anything at that position? Really curious where everyone else is at. John G says, my AFL team plays in a prelim final this weekend, as well as the North London Derby. It's such a big weekend. It's getting more nerve-wracking. Come on, you Spurs. Big up John G, first and foremost. I don't know what AFL is. Australian Football League? I don't really know what that... I don't know what that is. Big up Jazz Fusion. Yep, that Chubb. It was the same knee. This was the left knee. The same one that he hurt the first time. Or dislocated. Big up J Randy showing some love here. Says, my bro, keep up the good work. Your time will come. Big up J Randy just showing some love here. Also says, you were one of the reasons I like YouTube. Down to earth dude. Respect. Big up J Randy. Appreciate the love. Daniel Keppel Music says, looking forward to playing Arsenal. Hill is a great player. Maybe I'm sleeping on the kid. Maybe I need to talk nicely when it comes to Brian Hill. I don't know. Jay says, great vision, tricky winger, can see a pass, has good speed, and runs all day. I think in an ANGE system, he has all the ingredients. Just hope he's a bit stronger than he has shown previously. I would agree with that, Jay. Honestly, I don't see him being able to like physically hang in the Premier League. He seems like a body more fitted or more fit for La Liga, and I think he likes playing in the sunny weather, playing in Spain where his family can come see him, his friends. He's just never struck me as the guy who's like, I'm gonna go out there and gut it out for Tottenham on a cold rainy night at Stoke, or whatever the saying is, right? A cold Wednesday night at Stoke. Is Brian Hill gonna go out there and put in the performance that you would like to see? I don't know. I question is all. I think he is a victim of a little bit. He's the victim of fans necessarily thinking that business wasn't good business. For me, I never thought that it was good business at the time because he didn't do anything to help us. Then we loaned him back, and then we got him back. Then we loaned him, and it was just like, this guy, 2 loans in 2 years. That's just not good remedy. That doesn't sound like a guy we're getting much use out of. Same thing with like Jed Spence. That's kind of where I put it at. He's just had more appearances, Brian Hill, in regards to the Jed Spence comparison. I just think that their impact to the club has been non-existent. I mean, I guess for Brian Hill, you could say he did have that 1 assist, but like, I just don't see it. I just don't see what everyone sees. If anything, I think what everyone hyping up or everyone hoping Brian Hill could be this player that I think Maynard Solomon is. This great vision, tricky winger, can see a pass, decent speed, runs all day. We saw Solomon do that almost a little too much, the running aspect and overrunning things and except for that one part where he was trying to look for his own shot. He was a little selfish on that one moment. So, I mean, if I'm being honest, he was a little selfish there. But I don't know. I just think Brian Hill's too small. If you look at their sizes, Brian Hill in regards to Solomon, they're both small folk, but Solomon don't play like he's that tiny. He's got a little thickness to him. You know what I'm saying? If you watch Solomon, he's got a little bit of thickness to him to where when a defender presses him when he has the ball, he doesn't immediately fall over. He can fight with it. I think he's got decent enough strength to fight back on a defender that's pressing up against him physically when he has the ball. So, and he's shown a good ability to retain the possession when a defender, say, does poke it out of his feet. He did that a few times in the first half, I believe, against the team we just played. I can't even remember who it was now, but Sheffield. That's who it was. In the first half against Sheffield, I thought Solomon a few times, they poked the ball away from him, and he did a good job sticking with it, much like Brennan Johnson did whenever he came in. If you remember in Brennan Johnson's cameo, or I guess debut, he was against a defender. He had the ball, and he showed strength to not get pushed off the ball first and foremost, and the ability to retain the possession whenever the defender came and took the ball off him. So I like what I've seen from some of the wingers that we do have. Maybe this injury solidifies that, Brennan Johnson is that first one off the bench. But I do think, at the end of the day, the Perišić thing is going to hurt us more than be good for us, and say the sense that now we can look at different options at that position. I think he was one of the best or better options off our bench, quite frankly, at the left wing position, because his passes into the box. I mean, he had 11 assists last season. I think a lot of people, like myself, felt like I wanted more from him last season. But in regards to assists off set pieces, I think it was like 7 out of 11 or 9 out of 11, something like that. I worry that off the bench we're not going to have that same kind of service and impact. Like you saw when he came in versus Sheffield. While I'm here, let's look up Perišić. So he's come off the bench in every single match. He's had 5 appearances off the bench. He's come in every single match. Cal says he won us a pin against Frankfurt, I'm sure. Oh, Brian Hill. He did win us a pin one time. That is true. If Hill can't do it in the system, he has to go, says Jazz Fusion. I definitely agree there. Jay, forget previous appearances. They were under defensive managers. Very good point. This is a thing I used to argue for Tottenham as a whole, why I think will be different this year as opposed to last year, because of the manager specifically. So you're right, Jay. Maybe I should loosen up. Jazz Fusion says, for now, yes, you are, Jacob. Sleeping on Brian Hill, I think you mean. Australian rules football. Big up Boxing Kangaroo. I don't know what you're talking about. Cal L Agent. I mean, I'm sure both got injured before Ainge came in, so I'm sure they'll actually get a chance between now and January. But if Ainge thinks they might not be for him, then don't hesitate to replace. Good point, Cal. STZ says, gotta watch some AFL, Jacob. You'll love it. I'll have to tune in, man. Who should I watch? What team should I go for? J. Randy, Hill needs games and time and steroids. He does need a little bit of weight. Maybe he just needs to eat at McDonald's. I don't know. I'm gonna put him on a thickening diet. I'm on the slimming, the trimming diet. I need to get Brian Hill on that thickening diet. Woodsy TV says, Conte said it's a bit similar to Bernardo Silva. If Ainge can unlock even a part of that in him, I'd be happy. Interesting, Woodsy. Hey, again, this is one of those situations where I would love for him to prove me wrong, but and all the times that I've seen him, and y'all know I try to retain them immaculate vibes, but in regards to Brian Hill, I think I have a special sore spot, and I'm not going to say why, because then y'all are all going to make fun of me, why I have a certain set of bias towards Brian Hill, because I just think he hasn't offered us anything, and options at the time in which we bought him, there were some options that actually could have affected us in some positive manner, so a little bit salty about that still, if I'm honest. Got to keep it honest. If anything, all I can be is honest. Auntie G says, NFL is Australian Football League, but kicking and marking with an oval ball. You use your hands and feet with skills. Interesting. Interesting. Sounds very interesting indeed. Collingwood. I remember Hill assist for Kane was a sublime pass, says David O'Loughlin. Am I sleeping hardcore on Brian Hill? Was he just doo-doo because of the managers? Is that what we're saying here? Is that what's going on? No, definitely not Collingwood. Gotta go Carlton. I don't know what either one of those are. But appreciate y'all letting me know who you think I should. Jazz Fusion says, need depth on the left now. If it doesn't work, go get Jota or Maria. You talking about Di Maria? I'm pretty sure Di Maria don't want to leave Benfica. Who do you mean by Maria? See you in the granny. You got an old lady y'all gonna go meet? What you talking about? Woodsy TV says, are you saying Solomon has that girth, Jacob? Absolutely, 110% the man has that girth. Don't get it twisted. Well, at least more than Brian Hill. I'll put it that way. John G says it's funny because Collingwood and Carlton fans is like Spurs and Arsenal. Go Pies. I don't know which one is a pie. Which one's the Pies? Collingwood or Carlton? I don't know what either of those things are personally. Maida. Collingwood have a big Texan in the ruck. Mason Cox. That's a hell of a last name if I've ever seen one, if I'm going to be honest. Mason Cox. And Joe Hunk says, big up Jacob, Chewy, and everyone else. Hear that, Chewy? Big up. He's asleep. He said big up. Gonna hurt Richie for sure. It is what it is. Might have left in January anyway. I guess in the sense of Richie being able to head the ball, yeah. Yeah, it's going to hurt Richarlison. I think most of the arguments to start Richarlison came from, or at least they said if you start Richarlison, you have to start Perišić because of his service into the box. Sounds like we're taking an L. But 72% says we never stop. I mean, at the end of the day, we never stop, so we got to keep looking forward. That's how I see it, too. Big up Rich. Perišić appearance against Sheffield was a prime example of his impact. He's a game changer. We will need to replace him in January. Hill ain't it. I hear you. I hear you. These are just the people that we got. Brian Hill, Sessegnon. Who else? I guess we could put Brendan Johnson on the left. Here you go. This guy's not it. He hasn't wowed you, Rich. He hasn't dazzled you with the things that he does. I don't know how to defend this man or say that he does things well. I just don't see it, y'all. I'm sorry. I really just don't see it with Brian Hill. I hope I'm proved wrong, but who knows? We'll see. Pies should win, but the collie wobbles are coming. This sounds like something out of the Lord of the Rings, so I don't know what that is. Well, I do know what Lord of the Rings is, but I don't know what pies and collie wobbles are. Perišić is a big blow, says David O'Loughlin. I agree. Perišić is indeed a big blow. Jay says, David, it was a sublime pass to Kane. The boy has eyes in the back of his head. I believe in the kid. If he strengthens this year, I believe. Well, he definitely needs to strengthen right now because he's like not... Pretty sure he's injured. Pretty sure I've seen on his Instagram he said this, that, and the other about, oh, I'll be back. Here I come. It's just like, when are you going to be there? I don't see it. But, you know, I guess in the sense, this answers my question. I remember when we signed Brendan Johnson, anyone who was tapping into the channel then, big up yourself right now. Anyone who's hit that like already on this video, big up yourself right now. If you're watching this back on playback, big up yourself right now. We are on 30 minutes here on the show. I did want to say that in regards to Brendan Johnson and his roster spot in the 20, I was curious to see who it would actually be that lost out their position in order to make room for Brendan Johnson. Because if you remember, there was a time in there where I just remember looking on this channel specifically, I was like, I don't know who we're taking out. Who's going to miss out on the bench in order to make room for Brennan Johnson? Who? Let's see who it was. Let's look at Sheffield real quick. Let me share what I'm looking at here. No secrets on United Spurs of America. Come on. Let me go to Tottenham. That's what I meant to do. So let me see who missed. I guess it was Lo Celso because he was doubtful. But now reports are coming out about Lo Celso that he want to leave. We talked about it yesterday. He said that he want to leave, Giovanni Lo Celso. This guy right here. But he was doubtful last match. So you could argue, whose spot would he then take? Because that answered, I mean, Eric Dyer's still there, Ben Davies, Oliver Skipp, Højbjerg, I guess that means Giovanni Lo Celso has a spot now. So it's making it easier, I guess, to pick the bench for Ange Postecoglou. Now that I'm looking at it, I mean, yikes. It's not very nice looking, if I'm honest. Now I'm looking at the bench, it makes me feel like we need another option, because I don't think Dyer's good enough to come in and do anything. I don't think Giovanni Lo Celso is good enough to come in and do anything. Sessegnong's not our option behind Perišić. He's definitely not. I don't know. I guess Brennan Johnson on the left. I don't know. He never plays on the left. Kulusevski on the left. Richarlison on the left, maybe. What are we doing? Do y'all see Maynard Solomon starting going forward? Does this mean Maynard Solomon's a lock in the 11? What are we doing here? I'm trying to figure this out, because now I'm like, okay, if Perišić, this feels like in chess, when one piece moves and you look at the other pieces, it's just like, well, maybe that wasn't very good. Maybe that's not very good the more I look at that move of feeling like we would be fine without Ivan Perišić. David O'Loughlin, you've made me be flexible on my thought. And you know what? I'm going to have to agree here now. I think it might be a big blow. Joe Hong says, Perišić is a big loss, but I believe that Angel will get the best out of Hill or Cess even. Why not? We can. But who right now, Joe, I'm asking now, I'm pleading, who right now can fill in and do, because Hill is hurt, Sessegnong's hurt. I don't even know what Sessegnong's doing. I ain't heard from the man since before preseason. We ain't seen him yet. Mountain Bushman, big up Mountain Bushman in the house. How you doing? Who's going to replace Perišić? That's my question for you, Mountain Bushman. Hope you're well. Rich says Conte also said Dyer could be. Did he? No. Give me the proof. Give me the proof of that, Rich. I need the link. Send me your sources. I don't believe any manager has ever said he could be world class. Can't ever expect a like for like replacement, just like that dude that went to Bayern. Oh, that guy. Sydney Swan says Nick De La Torre. I don't know what that is. Jay says, I think Hill's ceiling is much, much higher than Solomon. Whether it is in this league remains to be seen. The boy looks seriously talented, though. I just don't think it is in this league, but I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Or I might be right. Who knows? Jay Randy says, we got Cess as a backup. Left side, Ainge will bring the best out of him. You think Cess, you really think that? I thought this tweet was a joke. Where is it? Here it is, right here. Oh, I'm not sharing that tab. There you go. I thought this was a joke. So, Jay Randy, you agree with this? Ryan Sessegnong can be the perfect Ivan. So, you know, this guy said bait, and apparently he's supposed to be a reliable source. 112 likes. Oh, yeah, I did tweet to it, yeah. I just don't see it. I've seen Sessegnong under quite a bit of managers, and only once or twice have I been like, it's kind of like with Jaffa Tanganga. I was like, yay, you did that one or two times, but I need it. Like, I've seen you be bad more than I've seen you be good. And at some point, it's just because they're not as good as we hope they are. And I love Jaffa Tanganga. And I hoped for Ryan Sessegnon. If you go back, like right around when the YouTube channel first started, I remember being excited about Sessegnon being healthy and seeing him play in the pass positions, etc. And look, viewers are leaving as I said that. I backed Ryan Sessegnon years ago. But it's just like, after a certain point, I just don't know if anybody can get the best out of this kid. I think getting the best out of him would require him to go down a few levels. That's just me personally. But I'm glad that you're sharing your opinion. I just don't agree personally on with the Sessegnon part. I don't think that it could... I don't see this one at all. I would more believe the Brian Hill one before I believe the Sessegnon one anyway. Jaco says Solomon has a low center of gravity. That might be why he's able to play stronger on the ball, Jaco, rather than Brian Hill. Because Brian Hill's kind of just lightweight. I want a heavyweight boxer on the wing. Alan Bennett, you already know who I wanted. Big up Ben Kaufman. Immaculate vibes, everyone. Indeed, immaculate vibes. Lael Marta. I don't know what that is, Jazz Fusion, but big up. Talking Ball says, I agree. Without Perišić, who has a good cross? Great question. Spurs King says, big up Jacob. Johnson can play all three. Simple, says Hansi G. When is Brennan Johnson played on the left? I've only seen him play as like the central striker for Wales and then on the right for Nottingham Forest. But again, I wasn't like on Brennan Johnson watch when I watched Nottingham Forest. So maybe he did play on the left and I'm just unaware. That's very possibly true. John G, both the goals from Richie scored this season came from Perišić cross, and Richie has only ever scored with his head for Spurs. Einteresting points here, John G. You sound like a detective hot on the case. You're spot on. His equalizer was a Perišić. Was Perišić, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. I just looked. Assist Ivan Perišić. So you're right. Good point. This R.I.P. Richie, is that what we're saying? Richie played left wing anyway previously, Son in the middle. Daniel Keppel Music, maybe this is the way we go? But are we saying Main or Solomon as a left winger is worse than Richarlison could be as a left winger? Do we risk that for the North London Derby? I don't know. Talking Ball says, question, should we play a front three of Solomon, Sonny, and Brennan? And I guess Kulu gets to ride the bench for his game winner against Arsenal. I don't. Kulu has a 10, and Madison in the midfield pair. I guess then you're saying who? Papa Montessar misses out. Is that what you're saying then? Big up STZ says the only player I would want from Velton is our Rio Hatate. I think he meant Celtic. Jacob, you silly septic tank. No need to get your Alan Wickers in a twist over Perišić. We will beat the pony and trap out of Woolwich. Big up, Captain Grant. Is this a poem? Was I supposed to rhyme here? Jacob, you silly septic tank. I've never been called a silly septic tank in all my years, if I'm being honest, but I like it. I hope you're right. Big up, Hotspur Hippie in the house. Big up, Jacob. Big up, Paul. How you doing? How you doing, Paul? I think Spurs should seriously chase Eze. I would love an Eze. I would absolutely love a Brice Eze. I've heard of picking up Sancho. No, I haven't heard of that. Roy says, evening all, big up Jacob and Chewy. There you go, Jacob. Jacob. There you go, Chewy. That's two people who've bigged you up. All right. Oh, super chat just coming in. Big up Daniel Montandon, the Dawn of Montana. Daniel Montandon. Great job on the commentary earlier on Sav's Watch Long. You make a good commentator. Also, big shame about it, Yvonne. Big up, Daniel. I know you're not a Spurs fan, but you hit me with a super chat. Absolutely making me feel blessed on this evening. So thank you so much. I hope you were living well, my friend. Hitting us with the 10 pound, I believe that currency symbol is, if I'm educated enough. But big up, thank you for appreciating. I was on there for a short time, but I tried to make sure it was a good time, Daniel. Big up the Dawn of Montana. It's good to see you around the chat lately. You've been around the chat. Thank you so much for the donation to the channel here. I'm going to be doing... So I did my first ever watch along with Korea versus Wales in an international break, and I actually really liked it. And there was a few people there that said, oh, you should do this. And they said they were going to come watch. So I'm going to do a watch along. I know there's about 15,000 channels that are live during the Spurs Arsenal match, but I will be doing a watch along. I will try to do good commentary like I know I can, but I might get a little yelly. I might yell a lot. I might scream. I'm probably going to be very sweaty. And it's going to be early in the morning here, so I'm going to wake up my whole family. They're going to be very upset with me. But it's the first ever Spurs watch along this weekend. So, Daniel, it'll be cool to see you, even if you just drop by for a second. I know like Sava's going to be on Football Heritage TV, Irish Hotspur, quite possibly Sean with Spurs Talk Show. So there's a bunch of big channels on. Definitely those would be the places I go to first. But if you do want to hang out with little old me, we'll be doing first ever Spurs watch along this Sunday. There might be tears, or it might just not be the opposite of tears. It might just be. But big up, thank you so much, Daniel, the Dawn of Montana, in the house, hitting me with a super chat. Appreciate that. First super chat of the day. Thank you so much. I'm still thinking about being called a silly septic tank. I've never heard that in my life. That's absolutely hilarious. John G says, Johnson, best spot is right wing. The only way at the moment I see him starting is if Kulu has a more central role. Wouldn't play Brennan in any other position other than right wing, in my opinion. John G, maybe you've seen more of Brennan Johnson, so you could say that more confidently. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't seen enough of Brennan Johnson to say this confidently, but if you have, then the more power. I appreciate you sharing that. Wolves Fi in the house. Jacob Chat. Oh no, Perišić missing the whole season is a huge blow. Absolutely. It's kind of dawned on me live on air. Like initially when it happened, I was like, you know what? We got a lot of fucking dudes out there. And then I started thinking, well, Sessegnong's hurt. Brian Hill's hurt. We have Solomon. Richarlison used to play on the left wing, but when he played left wing for Spurs last season, he was ass. So I don't know if I want to see that again. I don't know. But big up, Wolves. Glad to see you here. Big up. Kulu might be a shot on the left, says Jazz Fusion. He loves using that left foot, so why not just let him keep using that left foot, keep driving to the byline? It might be a shout for left. I'm open to the idea of it because I think he can do all the things on the left that Maynard Solomon could do. Maybe just not the whole cutting in on shooting on the right thing that's very predictable. But I don't know. Could be a shout. I'll be interested to see. Maybe we just stick with the same thing that we've been doing. That might be what I really think that's what we're going to see. The team that went out there and won versus Sheffield, I think that's the same thing we will see. But not to say the same thing again, but we will see. L says, I'm really bummed about Perišić. Perišić-Richie combo was a strong offensive option, especially off the bench. Good point, L. If Boro moves to winger for those crosses, backline is compromised. I feel like this is two different points you're making, but doesn't change the validity of what you're saying. No Perišić means Richie's aerial game will suffer, says J. Co. C. Sherman, big up. C. Sherman in the house. Good to see you. Says, rest easy, everyone. We got Brennan Johnson. He can play all across the front. Trust me, a gang. Big up, C. Sherman. He's part of the gang. Big up. J. Randy, look what Ainge did with Basuma. Basuma was quality, though, and he showed that in the Premier League a lot. J. Randy, he showed it a lot for Brighton that I had seen. Every time we played Brighton, he was a problem for us, and then we got him, and he wasn't necessarily good and or healthy last season. So I think last season we can't use that to say X, Y, and Z about Basuma individually, because that was his first season here under a falling down type of thing we were doing as a club. Jay says, forget says, people talk about others being lightweight. The guy gets injured opening the fridge. He absolutely is injured all the time. I think he's hurt more than he is healthy. Evac Esther on the Twitch says, hi, Jacob. How's it going? Big up, Evac, on the Twitch. I don't even know if there's anyone still watching on the Twitch, but big up. No one watches on the Twitch, but I appreciate you being here, Evac Esther. J. Randy, yeah, Cesspool's always hurt in the tub. He's definitely hanging out a lot. Evac says, by the way, I was lurking around and can't. I feel like this is a bot. This is some kind of bot. J Randy says Sess is Udogi 2.0. Udogi's younger than Sessignon. What are you talking? How old is Sessignon? I'm about to look right now. He's 23. Yeah, Udogi's 2 years younger. So how can he be the? So he's a guy who's younger than him. What is this? J Randy. I don't think we need to hype up Sessignon to this level. Bang average. And that's being nice. Rich says we're in a rebuild and it's going to be uncomfortable until we've had 1 or 2 more windows. I'm here for it though, and I trust Ainge. I'll take a Perišić injury over Romero, to be fair. This is kind of what I was saying earlier without like trying to really say it, that if anyone in the squad, I'd rather be someone. Yeah, it sucks that was like our best, that, you know, because Perišić, you could argue, was our best option off the bench, or at least our most qualified option off the bench. That sounded disgusting, Chewy. Are you okay? He just did a hack. I don't know if y'all heard that. Absolutely disgusting, Chewy. Sorry about that. He would have kept Reggie, but he sees something in Sess. How can he see anything in Sess, J Randy? Sess has been in the fucking trainer's room. How could he have seen anything of Sess, J Randy? Where is Sess? I haven't seen him. I watched Reggie again tonight for Man U, and yeah, he's not good. He runs a lot, though. He got sauced up over there on the right-hand side. Who was that? Was it Sane or Nabry, Musiala? All of them were cooking that young man. He was getting cooked tonight. That was interesting to see. But, you know, he was still their best player on the day almost. Well, I guess Casemiro got the brace, so you have to say Casemiro. Kulu over Sar and Brennan on the right wing, says Jayco. A little football manager going on here, but we're all good with it. Again, thank you, Daniel, for the super chat. Big ups. I appreciate you saying that. Says, yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Jacob. The Dawn of Montana. That is right. You are the Dawn of Montana, my friend. Just look at the name, Montandan. That's how you know. Should do an AFL watch along. I got to figure out what the hell it is first and who I'm supporting before I do a watch along. We'll definitely drop in. Good luck on Sunday. Big up, Daniel. Appreciate you saying that. That does mean a lot. Jaco says, those guys have nothing on you, Jacob. Oh, I love them all. If I mention them by name, know that I've got love and respect for them. Scott Jones says, I will be here, Jacob, seeing you cry when Arsenal smack you at least 2-0. Scott Jones, I don't know if you've heard or you see me around talking with my chest, saying X, Y, and Z about Tottenham. And when we go to the the Emirates, we're going to tear them down. All them empty crates, we're tearing them down. Fake fans out there are going to be yelling about nothing. They're going to be silent. When we come to town, and I've said it confidently, I know we are not going to go there and lose. A draw might happen, but I feel like we're going to win. But we are not going to go there and lose. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And when I say I put my couch on it, I mean it. I put my couch. It's actually a piece of shit couch, and I want to get rid of it. So I put my couch on it. Forget the last part that I said, but I put my couch on it. We are not going to lose this week. And I also have a chicken sandwich riding on the line with an Arsenal fan named TJ Warren TV. We'll see, Scott. It'll either be a glorious morning or it'll be ruining the last of my weekend. I might be crying. I don't know. James Paratrooper dropping in from the skies to say, what's up, Jacob? Big up, James. Joe Honk says crosses from dead balls can come from Madison or Porro. That is true. Pedro Porro's got a good cross. That is a good point. They're just as good as Perišić with their deliveries. Madison for sure. Pedro Porro for sure. I agree. On the set piece, we at least got a few people who can swing them things in. And I ain't talking innuendo. Scott Jones, Jacob, I know your dog can't hear. Does he interact with other dogs? Yeah, well, he's a... My wife and I adopted him from like a shelter back in Dallas. And he was about 5 years old then, and he never did well with other dogs. It was like he either had to fight or hump them. And most dogs don't appreciate that on the first day that they see that they sniff your butt. They don't want you to fight or hump them. But he seems to want to do either or. And so he just doesn't interact with other dogs anymore because he's shown time and time again he can't be trusted. because usually there was one dog. I take that back. There was one dog that was our neighbor's dog, and I guess eventually, you know, it was a girl dog, and she was kind of young. She was bigger than him, but she was fine because she always thought they were playing. But Chewy was very serious, so he doesn't get along with other dogs who are like, you know, don't want to get dominated by another dog. James says, Gooners are going down, humbled by the greatest team of all time, Tottenham Hotspur. Come on, James, talk to me nicely. Ozan, big up Ozan in the house, says, yo, Jacob, big up. Did you watch any of the UCL games? I did. I watched Arsenal until they went up like 3 or 4-0, and then I was like, that's enough of that. And then I switched over to United, and that was a crazy like second half of United and Bayern. A lot of silliness going on. So I did watch, and then also before that I did watch. Who the fuck was that played before? The last 2 days have been so many different Champions League games that I've watched, but I can't remember who was I watching specifically this morning. Cannot remember. Joe Hong, until Hill or Cess or Lascelles will come back, it has to be musical chairs with Solomon, Johnson, Son, Kulu, and Richie. Little musical chairs. I like that. That's a good way of putting it, Joe Hong. There's a team called the Kangaroos in the AFL. It's meant to be. Well, there you go. I'll support them. I like that. Kangaroos are my favorite animal, so I will support the Kangaroos in the AFL. Book me down for it. Cess is homegrown. I suspect that's all he sees. You know, this is funny because whenever the roster came out and I talked about it on stream, I said the very same thing. I said, you know what? I would not be surprised. I would absolutely not be surprised if the only reason he was kept, just like the reason why we have 5 goalkeepers, Fraser Forster, Brendan Austin, and Alfie Whiteman. You told me that Alfie Whiteman, Brandon Austin, and Alfie Whiteman. Both of them. We have 5 goalkeepers on the roster for what? The homegrown quota, baby. Sess is part of that. He's part of the homegrown WhatsApp. Can't kick out the homegrown WhatsApp. AFL, ooh, what, mate? Who do you support, Big Steve? Big up Mancunian Way in the house. What about Matters on the left, Kulu at the 10, and Johnson on the right? I don't want to change a damn thing we're doing about Madison personally. I like everything he's doing, and I just want him to keep doing that. I don't want to change it anyway. Chicken Sam, though, on the line, say no more. Absolutely. I don't bet money here. I bet chicken sandwiches and the couch, respectively. Seth got beamed up by a UFO coming back for bigger, stronger, and faster. James, do you submit to this thought, or subscribe to this thought, rather, that Ryan Sessegnon's just waiting, 23 years old, just waiting to be unlocked? Is that what we're saying? Ange's gonna do that. Shoot, he might be a miracle worker if that ever happens. Roy says, I believe in Ange. I believe in our manager. Come on, you Spurs. Pick up Roy. I believe in our manager as well. Fight or hump, poor Chewy. Yeah, he's complicated, man. He's a complicated little guy. He's absolutely very complicated. Funny that my ex was the opposite. She humped everything. Oh, I see what you did there. Very clever. Yep, fight or hump. Yep, that is absolutely true. I have some friends like that. Y'all are silly. Lisa M., big up to you and your wife for adopting. Mine just found me in the street. Adopt, don't shop. Absolutely. I would never spend money on those breeding houses, those people that just like breed a bunch of puppies, and if they don't sell, they just release them. No, this goofy bastard, we got him from the adoption agency, or not agency, the like shelter. Americans know what I'm talking about. Like most cities got a couple shelters and stuff, so we just grabbed him. That way they didn't euthanize him. He's a weirdo, but he's a good dog. Hansi G, Kangaroos are one of the worst teams in the AFL for the last 4 years out of 18 teams. Forget the Kangaroos. But they're my favorite animal. I gotta be honest here. Richie, Son, and Johnson can all play left winger and striker. I don't want to. I'm worried. I mean, I know you say this, steady as shark, but I'm worried. I mean, they can play, but can they excel playing there is my question. Matters didn't really do great on the left for England. Remember, Richie can play on the left. Lisa, It was a different system last season, admittedly. But my fear about putting Richarlison on the left, if we started with it anyway, was he wasn't very good. He wasn't very good on the left wing last year. I don't know if I want to see it again, personally. Big up Psychedelic Shallon. Says, what are you saying, brother? Jacob, are Spurs going to dunk Arsenal at the weekend big game? Yeah. The answer to that question is yeah. Of course we are. Big up boxing. Big up Psychedelic Shallon. Hope you're keeping well, my friend. Boxing Kangaroo says, I'd keep the lineup as it is, but last 20, switch Kulu to the left. Whoa. But last 20, switch Kulu to the left and Brendan Johnson replace him on the right. I like what we did with Kulusevski late in that match. Ange Postecoglou masterclass against Sheffield, putting Kulusevski in there like that. And that's where he ended up getting the goal. So isn't that fun? This is era of Cess, says James. Yo, what are we saying in the chat? I should have done that in the fucking poll. I should have put that in the fucking poll. 63 votes, 50 likes. Appreciate all 50 of y'all who have liked the video. Thank you so much. Ice cream's so good. Gutted for him, but we never stop at 67%, 14% respectively for we will be fine. We've got left wingers galore, and also we will expose the lack of our depth, or this will expose the lack of our depth. And then 5% says this could be lethal to our season. So 5% not really feeling good about it. It's okay. I feel like it's going to be okay, but I'm a little worried about the Perišić thing. But I ain't worried about our 11. I feel like the same thing. Who said it earlier? Boxing Kangaroo. Interestingly enough, I'd agree with the Kangaroo. Says I keep the lineup as it is, but last 20 switch Kulu to the left. This is exact. I would keep the lineup the same, personally. Son through the middle, Solomon on the left, Kulusevski on the right. I know this ain't the like North London Derby prediction show or whatever, but I agree. Boxing Kangaroo here. I'm sticking it the same. Craig the Gecko Man says Ange ball is about to take to the ocean. Brace for the early big waves before the speedboat takes off. Craig, the Gecko Man, what I will tell you is once we smack up Arsenal at the Emirates, the whole world's going to be looking even more at Ange Ball. They already are thinking about it. They already are curious about what's that guy doing over there. He won Manager of the Month. Surely they're cooking up something like some gravy. Ooh, sprinkle it on some mashed taters. Talk to me nicely. But what I'm saying is, Craig, the Gecko Man, as we sit here, an hour has officially passed. Hit that like if you haven't already, or don't. Participate in the poll already, or don't. 63 votes. So 63 of y'all letting your voices be heard for free. 52 of y'all hitting that like, promoting the channel for free. Appreciate that. I think the whole world's going to take recognition after we put one on Arsenal, and then next week we go on put something on Liverpool. Look, Arsenal's riding high right now. They're riding high. They feel invincible. Oh, we just beat PSV. We just beat them. Woohoo. Congratulations. Enjoy yourself. I hope you go and enjoy that this evening. But come Sunday, things are going to change for them. That mood in that locker room is going to be completely different at halftime. They're going to be so frustrated about what we're doing. They're going to be so annoyed about how great we're playing versus them. Just wait. I'm saying just wait. Richard was barely given time at the left wing last season, and it was under Conte. Ew. I like that last. Ew. That's funny. Fair. He was given a little bit at left wing, though, to be a little bit. I'm sure Angel will develop Johnson on the left now, or Kulu. I'm sure of it. Johnson is still young. I hope you're right there, Hansi G. Psychedelic Challenge says, I'm too blessed to be stressed, bro. I hope you're well. Thank you for making the Prem interesting again. Healthy competition is good for everyone. I appreciate that. Spurs, that's all Spurs, though. Don't thank me. I ain't done shit. That's all Ange Postecoglou. Give praise to him. Even though PSV was crap, Arsenal's head is going to be swollen from the win going into the North London Derby. Can't stand Arteta and can't wait for a foreign club to come in for him. What I will say here is, Lisa, he sucks. He's annoying, and I don't like his face. I don't like the way he talks. I'm really petty when it comes to Arteta. I think it's funny. It's just funny. Like, this match this weekend, they should win. Let's have it right. They should actually beat us. They should. They're supposed to be challenging for a title. I'm told Arsenal are challenging for a title. They challenged last season. They spent over $100 million on Declan Rice. They spent another 60 something on Kai Havertz. And then they went by Urian Timber, who went and got hurt. But I'm supposed to believe they're challenging for a title. If that is true, that Arsenal is challenging for a title, they should mop Spurs. We just got our head coach. This is his 6th Premier League match in charge. If you're Premier League title challengers, surely, but don't call me Shirley, you should be coming in and stomping us. I saw a heart float in the chat. Someone like that. Big up. Straight up. I mean, I just think that, like, they should beat us, and we're going to mop their ass up. And people are going to be like, oh, I didn't think that Spurs were going to do that. And just watch. I've been saying, the longer they're sleeping on Ange ball, the longer we're eating on Ange ball. You know what I'm saying? When all the hungry hyenas come around the carcass, we've been eating this whole time. They were taking a nap. They were sleeping on what we're doing. So I have no doubt in my mind that we are going in this week and getting a positive result. No doubt. Tony D, good morning, sir. Says, morning, buddy. Big up, Tony D. Lisa says, even though PSV was... Oh, that's the same one. I think I got sent 3 times. Nice. You said it 3 times to say it. Had to say it thrice because it was so nice. Derek Smith, missed you tonight, mate, but I'm here to say hello right at the end. Come on, you Spurs and Green Army too. Big up, Derek Smith. Hope you're keeping well, my friend, and good evening because it is late. It is like midnight now for y'all out there in the UK. So good night. Good night, Derek Smith. Psychedelic Shallon, I like this Ainge guy. He seems humble. Not too arrogant, yet still confident. Seems like a good manager. He's a great manager, and I love everything that he stands for. And every time that he speaks, he makes me proud that he's my manager. It doesn't make me embarrassed like I get when I see Arteta speaking and being all fucking defensive that someone asked, oh, you looking at a new number 1? What does that make Fabio Vieira? Well, shut the hell up. I didn't ask you about Fabio Vieira. I was asking about these damn goalkeepers. Anyway. STZ, the problem with the media is they like the negative story. If we win, it'll be more about is Arteta actually good rather than how good Ainge is. Good. I don't mind them. Keep shining the light over there on them. Keep doing that. The longer they're looking away, the better I like our chances. When we're underdogs, shit, we tend to do the impossible. A lot of people looking at history going into this weekend. And I think it's funny that people are doing that. Because why would you look at history when it comes to like where we're at right now? Another bit of news I want to share with everybody. Let me share this tab. Is Tottenham Hotspur looking to tie the club captain Son? Let me switch this. Tottenham Hotspur are looking to tie the club captain Son Heung-Min down to a new long-term contract. An agreement is expected to be reached by Christmas. How long do we think this contract's going to be? I'm saying 3 to 4 year extension, some shit like that. We're going to keep him for the rest of his career. That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But Son's reportedly going to get a new contract with Tottenham Hotspur. Around Christmas time, it should be announced, is what they're saying. They're expected to reach an agreement by Christmas time. Let's go through the last little bit here I have saved up. Again, I thought this was a joke, but some people seem to think that Ryan Sessegnon actually is the perfect fit for us. So that's kind of fun. Brian Hill, some people think that too. I'm interested to see. I'm very much interested to see. Sergio Reguilon played well for United. So just, a little Reguilon appreciation tweak. I want to keep that start there. It was kind of interesting to see that. But yeah, man. Ivan Perišić. That's it. I think he's done as a Tottenham Hotspur player. I know I talked about this a little bit off the top, but I do just want to clarify. I don't think we will see Ivan Perišić play in a Tottenham Hotspur shirt ever again. He might not be done. I don't think he's done for his career. I just think he's done with his Spurs career. James says, the Gooners don't know Ugodi and Papa Matasar, Tottenham's young guns, are going to humble those Arsenal frauds. I hope you're right. Because Ugodi, I think he's going to lock down Bukayo Saka 100%. I think Papa Matasar, if he starts, is going to provide that little bit of spark that we need in the final third, like he did versus United. He's not afraid of the big stage, the young man. So I like our chances. I definitely like our chances a lot. Lisa M says, if we win, I have a short list of Arsenal streams I will be watching to soak up all the suffering. That's great. Which ones are you going to watch? Which ones are you going to watch to get their reaction? I'm curious. I'm going to be doing a watch along, so hopefully I'm not crying. Hopefully I'm not suffering and people are tuning in to just watch me suffer. Saka shit is going to cry and ask Lego Man to sub him out after a bone-crushing tackle by Romero. Here's the thing. If he gets all the way to Romero, that means he's gotten past Ugodi. That means he's gotten past Van de Veen. And so then, yes, he will be crushed by Romero. And that's why I don't think he's going to do anything. I think to go through that amount of players, no, it's just not going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. Do you think City will fall off at all this season, or will they walk the Prem again? I think they're going to walk the Prem, personally. I think they're going to walk the Prem easily, handily, no problem. That's what I think. Reggie has been United's signing of the season. The past 2 matches, he's been their best player. Well, I guess, again, you could say Casemiro was their best player today because he got the brace. But 2 games in a row in which he's been one of their most outstanding players, you could definitely say that. So it's interesting. Our loanee, some people say our reject. I think that's a little harsh. But our loanee, I don't know. It's definitely interesting to see our loanee doing so well. There was a photo that was going around that I kind of sent in a couple group chats. I can't find it now. I thought I would definitely try to have it on hand for the show, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to pull it up because I sent it. I sent it to a few people. Nope, not there. It's a photo of Sergio Reguilon, and he's helping up, what's his name, that goalkeeper? Onana. What's my name? Where did I put that thing? There it is. Okay, see that? So it's a picture of Sergio Reguilon picking up Andre Onana after he fumbled and bumbled what looked to be an easy save. He fumbled it. And I'm just curious, like, there's no one else at Manchester United that has, like, the wherewithal, the leadership, the compassion. Is there no one at the club before Reguilon that can come in and scoop him off the ground? What are we doing here? This doesn't make sense to me. Someone commented, said our lone player has been the best player of the last 2 games. Can't make this stuff up, people. You absolutely cannot make this stuff up. That's so funny. Give me some notice. No, okay. Sorry. Saw a message, got distracted. You know how my brain works. What's the verdict, y'all? I know what the poll's saying. Gutted for Perišić, but we never stop. Who's going to take Perisić's spot? That's the question of tonight. Derek Smith says it would be nice to think so, but I don't think Angel Ball is quite ready yet. We know it's going to happen, but it's not quite there yet. Chin up, keep the faith, and we will never stop. It would be nice to think so. Oh, that we're going to go in there and win? Oh, it's definitely nice to think so. I heard you have some dope Spurs cards. Can we see them? I don't have them on hand right now. They're somewhere around here. My wife cleaned the studio, and now I don't know where half the shit is. I'll look for them, and I'll show them next time. Promise. Pinky promise. Who will go further in the Champions League, Arsenal or United, or will they both fail? They're both going to fail. I think United will... Who do they got in their group? Who else is in United's group? Because I don't know if they're going to make it out the group. I think Arsenal, I remember having a really easy group. They had PSV and then a couple other people. I think City have an easy group. I think City has the best chance to win the Champions League again, as well as the Premier League. Real Madrid didn't look that good today. I thought Bayern... Thought they created a shit ton of chances, just couldn't finish their dinner. If they were able to be more clinical, they could definitely be favorites for the Champions League final as well. I know it's early days. It was opening week. It's all good. James says Reggie is a good young lad. He is a good young lad. Can't fault him for that. But what I can fault him for is the many times I've seen him in front of net where he shoots it, it goes wayward, it goes crazy. There's a few times tonight for United where I was wondering, is that a shot or a cross? And I don't think that's a good thing to have in your game, where people are like, I don't really know if that was a shot or a cross. Could be either or. I also had this. I forgot about this thing. Let me share it with y'all. So this is a quote from Sonny about the changing room. It says, quote, "The changing room, the club, the stadium, the vibe is really, really positive. For example, today I had a doping test after training. Even the guys from the doping test came in and said, wow, they've really changed the vibes here. Last year they'd turn up and probably would have seen us being down. Today they came and said that the vibe is much better than last year and looks really, really positive." So I find it interesting, Sonny's speaking about the vibes in the locker room from a perspective of these people who are basically Premier League official, like, testing people. I don't know what their fucking title is, but they have them in all leagues. When I worked for an NFL team, it was the same way. They have people from the NFL that come in, test players periodically, randomly, for doping, etc., drugs, etc. I don't know why I had to say the last two, drugs, etc., because etc. really entails those two. But anyway, in regards to, there's a few things I find interesting about this. Number one, the fact that these doping guys are coming in talking about the vibe in the locker room. Is the vibes that immaculate that it's just oozing through the walls to where even visitors come in and they say, oh, holy shit. Is that what we're doing here? $60 likes on the video. Big up, everybody. I know I missed 53% demographic from the UK. I know I missed about 53% of the demographic tonight, so not the most of y'all here, but you know what? You're making it the most in regards to likes. 61 likes. Y'all are absolutely immaculate. Appreciate that. And 69 votes in the poll. 70%. So a resounding feeling tonight is that we're gutted for Ivan Perišić, but at the end of the day, we never stop. But back to this quote from Sonny in regards to the vibes. I'm a big vibe guy. You know that I always talk about the vibes need to be immaculate in the house. Shout out to 2 other people who just liked the video. But Sonny's talking about the vibes being better. Strangers are talking about the vibes being better. I mean, technically, I'm a stranger from overseas, and I'm talking about the vibes are better. We are oozing this new attitude, style, immaculate vibes, and it's absolutely something welcoming to see that I don't think we've had for a little bit now. I just find it weird that he even commented about it, to be fair. Like, why would the people from the doping test be like, hey, you don't seem as fucking miserable this year? That seems odd to me. But Sonny's even spoke about it, so I guess it's not that odd. Talking about getting paid to watch your show. Hell yeah, that's what's up. Who stinks more, Potch or Seven Hag? Seven Hag for sure. And that's not because I'm like trying to be biased or unbiased or whatever. I just think Seven Hag, this is his second year and they still don't have any style formula. They're just like there filling the spot of being the opponent. They're just like existing. And it's weird because you should have some kind of identity by now, I think. James says some idiot was trying to pick a fight with Sonny and Reggie was about to throw hands. Yeah, I'm glad he's seen. So I'm saying the photo I showed on my phone of him picking up Onana. Why is there no one else at Man United who feels the obligation to go help their teammate other than Reguilon, who's been there for fucking 2 weeks? It's hilarious. 3 weeks, I guess. It's hilarious to me because United's in the mud, and I like that. Hit the like or I'll steal your bike. There you go, talking about. He's going to come take your bike if you don't hit that like. Rich says, I remember Mason and Stellini were playing YMCA, and apparently the vibes are better now. What are they doing? Did we really play the YMCA? Are you joking? I don't remember this. But you might be right. I'm not saying you're wrong. You might be right. Bald Bean Counter says, we are Vibes FC. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Hansi G says, even Levy was smiling when Ainge was speaking. Wow. Maybe I do got to go watch it. I was planning on watching it tonight, so it doesn't really do any good for the show today. But I was planning on watching it tonight. Bald Bean Counter. I love to see Sonny rise to the occasion now that he's captain. He's grown into it. He's absolutely grown into it. And he's not the only one who's grown into it, too. I would argue that this man right here has also grown into it. Christian Romero has grown into his captain role. Heung-Min's son, Heung-Min dad, has also grown into his leadership role. It's quite a great transformation that we are all getting to witness at Tottenham Hotspur. Personally, I'm so excited for it. Also, still throwing it out there, Ainge Postecoglou. If you happen to stumble across this channel, this stream, this show, and you are an hour and 19 minutes in, I would like a hug like this after we win the derby. I want you to know that. I'm just being honest here. Positive vibes at Spurs is quite worrying as a rival. I hope you steal points from City. Psychedelic Shaman, I believe you're a Liverpool fan, if I'm not mistaken, right? We got you in 2 weeks, so I think the Immaculate Vibes will find you then too. I agree, Seven Hag is the stinkiest. Just kind of all around poo-poo, really. The doping company had just come back from Man United, says Rich. Interesting. Yeah, Poch just started, but Hag has had a whole season before. Exactly why I think, like, by now you should have some kind of identity, right? Shirley, but don't call me Shirley. On the pitch, you can look like you have some kind of idea of what you're wanting to do. Any United match I've seen this season in the Premier League, today versus Bayern, it just looked like they were fucking just going out there, having a good time, and see what you could do. Talking Ball says, hey, everyone, late night show on my channel way after Jacobin's shameless self-promotion. Big up. Call him a Talking Ball. Feel free to plug away. Who cares? People will tune in if they want to tune in. Rich says, yeah, you can Google YMCA Mason Stellini. Okay, so this is real. This is real. I'm Googling it. YMCA Mason Stellini. Let's see. No. What the fuck? I don't see anything. I don't see it. And my son's screaming, and he's very distracting. He's been screaming this entire show. I'm sorry if you can hear it. He's really been throwing me off. I don't know if you can tell, I've been kind of thrown off all show, and that's because my son, he didn't take a nap today, so he's been. If you have a toddler, if you've ever had a toddler, it's I love my son, I love my life. I wouldn't change it for a thing, so don't take this the wrong way when I say it, but it's a little bit like living hell when you have a toddler. You turn your back for 5 seconds, they're in a fucking chair, and half their body's in the kitchen sink where there's knives and shit, and it's like, what are you doing, man? I turn around for 5 seconds. I'm not trying to come on here and complain about the life I lead, but I'm just saying he's been fucking screaming all day in that room since I started this stream. It's like he knows that I'm gone, so he just wants to. I think he wants to stop. He wants to talk on stream. Maybe that's what it is. Look at the old leadership group. They never looked happy. Look at Basuma, DJ, and Royale dancing in the locker room. Good point. Very good point. Derek Smith says, I thought Levy came across as genuine, relaxed, and certainly excited for the future. He came across as a fan, and I like that. Big up Derek Smith. I've only ever seen, heard, and witnessed good things come out of Ange Postecoglou's mouth. And I mean that in a verbal sense. So I agree with you, Derek Smith. I'm going to watch it tonight in its entirety and see if there's any nuggets I can find that hasn't been brought to light yet. Probably not. Levy was smiling when Ainge was talking because he's thinking they're actually buying it. Big up Jammy Get says at the point when Ainge has taken us as far as he can and wants to take us to the next level, Levy will be Levy. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Psychedelic Shallon, yes, my brother, I'm a Liverpool fan, and Son is one of those players I wish joined Liverpool. I'm low-key jealous, always rated him highly. I know Jurgen Klopp as well rates Son highly, and that's because he has an eye for some talent, you know. Real recognize real, so to speak. So definitely glad to see that as that you respect him. I see a lot of Liverpool fans that have a lot of love for Son too. So that's good. You should. He's a quality player. And I would say the same for your team, Mohamed Salah. If Son, Kane, and Salah were together on Spurs when they were all competing for golden boots together, honestly, that is a fucking super team. That is LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh linking up. That would have been insane. I would have loved to see it personally. So I always respected Salah. I wanted Darwin Núñez to come to Spurs. Fortunately, he signed for Liverpool because he was very, very expensive, and we would have never bid that absorbent amount. But nonetheless, got a lot of respect for Liverpool. Appreciate you being here. Good luck tomorrow. Don't you play in the Europa tomorrow? Ball being counter. Maybe your son is a Sheffield United fan. I hope not. He better not be. Anytime we watch the match, he never cheers for Sheffield anyway. He better not be. I've raised him right. I've got multiple pictures of him wearing Tottenham shirt. Don't you worry. I need to get him this year's one. Derek says, I've kept my kids locked in the basement until they were 10. Saved me all the drama. Maybe that I don't have a basement. Maybe that's where I'm missing out now. Here you go. Hang on. You see? That's me holding him with the Tottenham shirt. He's in the Tottenham shirt when he was a little baby. A very old photo. Oh shit. Oh. An oldie but a goldie. Isn't that what the kids say? An oldie but a goldie. Thanks, my friend. Son, Kane, and Salah would have caused problems, or alternatively, Son, Núñez, Salah. Very alternatively, but Kane is by far the more superior striker. I am going to go ahead and leave it there, folks. It was a little bit shorter than usual. It was later than usual, and I do apologize for that. This week, things have been fluctuating tremendously, but the big day, which I'm trying to do the North London Derby preview show and predictions and all that, is Saturday, the day before the match. I'm looking to do it that day, so hopefully y'all can come back then. Looking to bring something, definitely looking to bring something tomorrow. But I need to check my wife's schedule. So we might be live tomorrow. More than I would say 85% for sure going to be live tomorrow. I need to check with my wife on the schedule. Friday, I'm not sure. It might be early Friday. Early show Friday. Might be very, very early on Friday. So I don't know what you're doing on Friday. But come check us out as well. It's going to be earlier than usual. It's not going to be the usual time. I'll tell you that much. And then Saturday, I want to do the North London Derby preview. And then obviously, you're going to do the watch along on Sunday. So hope to see you all around this weekend. Got more stuff coming up. The times are going to be fluctuating. So again, I do apologize to those of you who gotten used to the usual time. For the rest of this week, it's going to look a little different. But hopefully, I will see you tomorrow, whatever time. Hit that notification bell. Get notified every time we go live here on the channel. Michael will be back in due time. So everyone say love you, Michael, out there. I'm going to end the poll there. See 76 votes. 71% says gutted for him, but we never stop, and that's the mood. 12% respectively on the other two of we will be fine. We've got left-wingers galore, and another 11% says we will expose our lack of depth. This could be lethal to our season, 5%. So 5% still thinks it's going to be lethal to the season. That remains to be seen. We'll find out. But either way, I do hope y'all are doing well. Derek Smith gave us 4 stars today. A little bit worse than usual. Normally we get 5 stars, but it's okay, Derek Smith. You're here supporting. I've been off my game. My son has tremendously thrown me off. But hopefully tomorrow I'll be like back and feeling it and vibing myself. But I also want to say a special thank you to the 67 of y'all that have hit a like on the video, helping us get out there for more folks. I do appreciate that 110%. Daniel, the Dawn from Montana, appreciate you with the super chat today as well. I want to say a special thank you for that. Your support does not go unnoticed. Big up Rich, all the YouTube chat members checking in. Big up the Patreon members as well. But that's going to do it here. A little short one, a little late, a little short. But you know what? We're halfway through the week, and I hope everyone who's tuned in and is this far into the show, I hope you go and enjoy yourself the rest of the evening or the day. And I hope the rest of the week is about 50% easier than the beginning of the week. That's my hope. So as always, folks, stay fresh, stay blessed, up the lads, and come on, you Spurs. Quiz.
United Spurs of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.